Welcome back. It's Wednesday. That means plant and garden expert Craig Hignight is joining us live to answer all of your burning questions. So start getting those in on the Facebook page. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, our first question for you is from Pam. My tomato plants had flowers. Now the flowers just dropped off. What do I need to do to stop this from happening?
Well, you could go ahead and get some blossom set. That is a cytokinin, and it's a plant chemical that you can spray on the flowers. It makes them hang on long enough for the fruit to go ahead and start to form. Blossom set is what you need.
All right, we have Nancy saying the Asian beetles are eating my strawberry plants. What can I do to prevent this?
Well, now that we're through the fruiting season, you could go ahead and use 7. I don't like to spray while there's fruit on the plants, but 7 should go ahead and slow them down. You only have to use it about once every 4 to 6 days to keep them under control. But right now, you should be mowing the strawberries off. It's time to go ahead and reinvigorate the bed, mow the plants down, and give them fertilizer. This is the time to go ahead and fertilize our strawberry bed.
From Steve, do I deadhead continuous blooming rose bushes?
Of course. The whole idea in deadheading is that we're removing the seed production. This is on roses especially. You go ahead and you go down the stem below the spent flower to the first leaf that has 5 sections to the leaf, cut off just above that leaf, and that will force new growth, and it's not going to set seed and retard the rest of the bloom for the year.
We have Kirby asking, in this heat wave, should I water morning and night on tomatoes and flowers?
No. We're getting a lot of overwatering right now because people are going out in the middle of the day and they're checking their plants and they're just looking a little flaggy from the heat. They wilt just like we do when it's really hot. Check early in the morning or late in the afternoon. That is the time to go ahead and do your watering, but water thoroughly. When you do water, even all my pots I've got at home, I'm not watering every day yet. They're still too young right now, but keep an eye on it. Don't run them too far to the dry side, but make sure you water thoroughly, drain the excess if it's in a container, and wait until they dry down properly.
Yeah, you got to remember we got lots of showers and storms still. We're not too dry out there either.
No,
so.
no, we've actually have had, I won't say adequate moisture, but Mother Nature is at least giving us a little help this time of the year.
Keep that in mind.
All right, from Chad, can I still plant green beans and carrots?
Sure. Green beans, it's going to be a late crop, but you've still got plenty of time. Make sure that you protect them. I've had a lot of people where the birds are coming in, and as soon as the bean peeks its head above the ground, they come along and they just pluck every one. You might want to put a row cover over your beans until they get up and well established. Carrots, it's going to be a little more difficult because it's so hot, but I would still go ahead and give it a shot.
We have Mike asking, how do I get rid of white mold on zucchini plants?
For that, you'd use a fungicide that can be used on edibles, Funginil or Daconil. Just make sure you follow the directions on the label.
Okay, from Penny, how do I make my tomato plants get bigger?
Well, right now you've got to go ahead and make sure that you're watering properly. Like I said, you water thoroughly when you do water. Wait until they dry out properly, and that normally means about 2 inches, 1 to 2 inches of dry soil right at the surface of the soil. If you haven't done it, you might use a tomato fertilizer, but there again, don't get carried away. You can over-fertilize on tomatoes, so again, read that label.
All right, we have questions coming up from Kayla, Patty, Sylvia, all after the break. Continue to put your questions in as we are standing here talking with plant and garden expert Craig Hignight. We'll be right back. We are here with plant and garden expert Craig Hignight, and we're going to kick it off here with a question from Kayla asking, what can you do to get rid of ground squirrels but not kill them?
That's a toughie. If you're not willing to kill them, with moles we can do the mole max, and it just makes them somebody else's problem. With ground squirrels, I'm sorry, you've got to go with the peanut butter and mouse traps to go ahead and actually eliminate them. You could try some of the repellents, but remember, when you're using a repellent, you have to spray it 4 days in a row when you first put it on to build up that scent to move the animals away.
Okay, from Patty, how do I keep aeoniums alive?
Okay, aeoniums are a succulent. They like a lot of light. They actually, don't mind some humidity. So the important thing is that we do not overwater them. They kind of look like a squid on or an octopus on a stem. All the leaves come out in a dinner plate flat form. They need extremely bright light, water when they get a little bit dry, fertilize maybe once every 4 to 5 weeks.
We have Sylvia asking, I planted a tricolored beech tree, and in 7 years it hasn't grown much. Just the first year it grew a few inches.
Okay, you're dealing with a very slow starter. This plant takes a long time to go ahead and get established. We're well past the root stimulator stage, but you should have a nice mulch bed around it, so you're keeping lawnmowers and weed eaters away from it. If it hasn't bulked up on the trunk, you should be wrapping trunks in the fall so that deer don't come in and clean their antlers and skin the bark right off of it. And do remember, when we stop getting rain, June and July are our wet months. August and September, not so much. Invest some water. I don't water lawns. I don't like mowing grass that much, but on our trees and shrubs, invest some water in August and September to keep this plant happy before winter gets here.
Okay, Gloria says, my trees are dropping a lot of dead leaves. Should I be watering them? They're about 10 years old.
Well, these are very well-established trees, so I don't know that you have to do a lot of watering. We were just talking during the break that we have had basically adequate moisture, but I always keep track of the rain that we get. And if you find that you're not getting at least an inch of rain in 10 to 14 days, yes, break out the sprinkler, set it up, and water until you collect 1 inch of water in something like a butter tub. If we get half an inch of rain, you only have to make up the half inch that we didn't get from Mother Nature. I know, water's not cheap anymore, but we really do need to make that investment to keep our plants happy.
Mm-hmm.
A viewer asks, I have a clematis and a balloon flower next to each other. They both have leaves which look rusty. Any suggestions?
There again, I would be getting out the fungicide. It's one of those things. Now, clematis, as long as they don't get a leaf spot disease on the stem that actually girdles the whole stem and kills part of the plant, it's not really severe, but I would invest some fungicide to go ahead and keep these plants as healthy as possible. Again, read the label.
All right, a quick last question from another viewer. Any advice on pruning tomato plants for better results?
No. Tomatoes need every leaf that they've got. I'm not one of these people that goes in and pulls off the suckers. That's your later season production that you're getting rid of. The important thing is, like I said earlier, water thoroughly when you do water. Let them dry out properly, and try and not splash too much dirt up on them while you're watering. That's where a lot of diseases come from. They come up out of the soil, and then they damage your plants.
All right, great advice, Craig. Thank you, as always.
Yes.
You guys can be sure to join our Facebook Live at Home with Craig each and every Wednesday. And there you can submit your questions and be part of the conversation. We will be right back with